this now. They can. There's genetic testing, and you've undergone that, and they will be able to tell you if you have some sort of predisposition, or your family do, because of your genetic makeup to getting cancer. Are there other siblings? Have you got brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I just have two brothers left. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When you say left?
Oh no, sorry. In my family,
in your family,
it's my parents that have passed away. Yeah.
Yeah, and like if you discover a gene, that's going to be scary, isn't it? For
it is now. It has.
And what about you and having children eventually?
Well, there's the thing. It's a little bit difficult. The jury's still out, I think, really. Now, I might be a little inaccurate in my details on this as to what is the best thing to do if you discover one of these breast cancer-causing genes. Only 10% of breast cancers are caused, by a faulty gene. So the majority are just chance occurrences.
Right.
So they're not sure. Some centres recommend that you have both breasts and both ovaries removed if you are positive for this gene, but they don't like to tell people what to do, because obviously if you have both ovaries removed, then you can't have children. Having had chemo alone can reduce your chances of having children. Some people.
So a lot of women actually freeze their eggs before they undergo treatment.
Some do if they're very keen to have children. Yeah.
So have you discussed this with your boyfriend? I'm not. Is this too personal or?
We did, yeah. We had to really, and it's a very difficult thing. We're so young. Children weren't.
How long are you going out?
We're together now almost 7 years. Right. It had been 6 when this happened. So yeah, we were in for the long haul. And we had to discuss the children thing. We're both kind of career people, so it wasn't really on the radar. And it's very funny when something like this happens. Suddenly you have to make big decisions. Now, we didn't go down the route of freezing eggs or anything like that. What happens, will happen. And, I wasn't going to try and force anything. At the moment, I'm far too unwell and exhausted to even consider going down that route. I'm just happy to be alive and hope that that will be the case for a long time to come.
Well, you sound strong, and I'm sure that's important in the if it is a battle dealing with cancer. And thanks for contacting us. And I don't know if you can just poke their eyes out the next time and say I said it was okay.
All I wanted to do, Ray, was just maybe raise awareness about it.
And you've done that, and we've had a huge reaction to you, and all very positive, and people are full of admiration for you, as we are. Anna, nice talking to you.
Thanks so much.
Good morning.
Okay, bye now.
Bye. She can send us emails to ray@todayfm.com. On Anna, having lost 2 parents is hard enough, let alone having cancer. What a brave woman. Paul in Dublin has tears in his eyes. Ray, Anna is amazing. My uncle also shaved his head due to the discomfort of his hair falling out. It's such a hard treatment to go through. Fair play to her. First, fair play to that woman for going out without a wig and doing as she feels. That shows real strength of character, and I commend her for that. However, a woman with no hair is not something we see every day. It is not normal. Whatever normal is meant to be. So can anyone blame people for looking? I'm sure it's not intentional or not meant to cause offence. I'm sure when people pass goths or punks on the street, they will say the same thing, that people stare. It's only natural. Those people that say that people who stare should be ashamed of themselves need to get off their high horses. Those people are not ignorant. They're just reacting to something that they don't see every day. This is only human. People are a lot more understanding than they're giving them credit for. I would say once more that woman is a real hero. Yeah, there's a certain amount of that. There is a certain amount of that. Human nature is that if you see something that is out of the ordinary in your world, that you will do a double take. But one double take is understandable and forgivable. But when you stare for a prolonged period of time, well, that's just wrong. When I had cancer in my teens, I was brought to this mass by my dad and had some owl one staring at me for wearing a baseball cap in the house of God while wearing a hat herself. Well, there are the rules. Women can wear hats in the house of God, but men can't. You got to love owl ones, says Limo in California. All better for over 13 years now. I had testicular cancer and had 4 cycles of chemo back in 2002, all fine now, but having no hair was very strange. I had a woolly hat on once in a shop, and a shop assistant kept following me around as if I was checking the place out and about to rob something. I turned around and took off my hat, and her eyes nearly popped out of her head, and she quickly hurried off into the back of the shop. People in general are okay, and the plus side is that I won a fancy dress. I went as Uncle Fester. from the Addams family. You have to have a sense of humour through it all. Although it's easy to say it from a distance, I don't know if I would have a sense of humour. Last year, my wife Christine was diagnosed with breast cancer. She took hold of the situation and showed great courage. We're married 24 years this year, and I've realised I'm married to the bravest person I've ever met. Please tell her that I love her so much. That's from Bren. And my wife died 3 years ago with breast cancer. Believe me, it's one of the hardest things I and my wife went through. I still think of her every day and her fight that she lost. Fair play, Anna. Don't worry about what other people think or say. Keep your head up and hope all goes well for you. That's from Anthony. And I've also got cancer. I'm wearing scarves instead of a wig, and I'm not as brave as Anna. I agree people do stare or do a double take, but what is most annoying is people's general lack of kindness. It's obvious I'm sick, but the amount of times I've had doors not held open or no help packing my shopping, etc. Very disillusioning. And Deirdre says, I work in cancer research. Firstly, I want to say how brave that Garlana is. Hair loss is a devastating side effect, among many others, of the treatment for her illness. I wish her the very best and long-term health. I also want to thank her for highlighting something that is perfectly normal, be it by choice or due to cancer treatment. I am not in any way trivialising cancer diagnosis, but I do want to say that a diagnosis with cancer is not necessarily a death sentence. Yes, it's an horrific and scary thing to have to deal with, but it's no longer a death sentence. There are more and more cancer survivors alive every day, both due to effective treatment and early detection. I would appeal to anyone who is worried about a lump or other signs of cancer to go and get it checked. Isn't it better to get something done about it rather than sit and wait until it's too late? Best wishes, Deirdre. And I'll address that, if you don't mind, Deirdre, particularly to our male listeners who are, and research shows, reluctant to visit their GP about anything that might be bothering them because they're embarrassed for some strange reason. Lads, if there's anything that you feel slightly suspicious about on your body, that sounds a bit odd, go along to your doctor and get it checked out, because as Deirdre just pointed out there, and she works in the area, early detection is hugely important and can save lives, and it could be your life. So our thoughts are with Anna, and our thoughts are with anybody suffering from or affected by cancer. And we left on a high note there. Deirdre says more and more people are surviving the big C now because of advances in medical science. And thanks for all your stories this morning. Will we take a commercial break? No, we'll take this.